Okay, year 11, this is paper 2, calculator, aiming for 4 key important skills that we need to master, because we are losing marks on things that and questions that you can do. Do use a calculator when you can. Right, question 1, Alec needs to work out this value. He writes 2 add 3 equals 5 and 5 times 5, 4 equals 20, so that equals 20. Explain why he is wrong. Well, you know laws of bid maths. That's right, bid maths. So multiplication comes first. Alec is not using bid maths. Must do 3 times 4 equals 12, then 12 add 2 equals 14. That will be enough. Right, 0.37 as a fraction. Now, you should know that's 37 over 100. Remember, calculator paper. Let's see what happens if I write 0.37 and press SD. Let's equal SD. Oh, look, lovely. Gives you the answer. Correct. This diagram shows a rectangle. On the centimetre grid, draw an accurate scale drawing this rectangle using 1 centimetre represent 5 metres. So let's zoom out a bit. So if 1 centimetre equals 5 metres, we need to get to 20. So we could see if we times 1 by 4, times by 4, 5 times 4, that's 20 metres, right? So we need to draw something like that. 4 centimetres. 1 centimetre equals 5 metres. So how are we going to get to 35? 5 times 7 is 35. Now if you're ever unsure, just use your calculator. We've got 35 divided by 5 is 7. So we need to times by 7. So that means this is 7. Because we times that by 7, so we need to make 4 centimetres by 7 centimetres to do that to scale. So that's 4. Make sure it's 7 squares. Then use a ruler, and that's your 2 marks. Let's highlight this. From this, write down a square number. Right, we do this in starters. What are the square numbers? 1 squared equals 1, 2 squared equals 4, 3 squared equals 9. These are the square numbers because you make a square. 3 by 3 square has an area of 9 centimetres squared. So you should spot 5 times 5 equals 25, so that answer is 25. Write down a multiple of 8. That's like the times tables. You can see it's 24. Right. Let's use the pink. Someone's watching a film. It starts at 14:30. That's 2:30. It's 105 minutes long. When the film ends, Liz takes 20 minutes to get to the bus stop. A bus leaves the bus stop at 6:45. Does Liz get in a bus stop in time to get this bus? So let's break this question down. It's 14:30. Right. Let's do the first thing. Let's break this up. Add 60 minutes. That takes us to 15:30. Now we've got 45 minutes left. So let's just add 30 minutes. So that's a total of 90. That takes us to 4 o'clock. And then there's an extra 15 minutes left to make it 105. So that becomes 15. Okay, because that total is the 105 minutes length of film. It takes 20 minutes to get to the bus stop, so plus 20 here. So that's 16:30. And you can say yes, she arrives. You need your communication marks at 16:30, so 15 minutes early. So 15 minutes early. And just mention, yeah, gesturize it, so we'll be on time. So we'll be on time. Right, straight line. What do you know about angles in a straight line? Equal 180. Work out the value of x. So that must be 180 minus 75 and then minus 84 as well. So, well, you've got a calculator. 180 minus 75 minus 84, 21. To be safe, you could show each stage of your working. Minus 75 equals 105. 105 minus 84 equals 21, just to make sure you get your method marks. Reason for your answer, because angles in a straight line. Equals 180, and I mentioned you subtract those two angles to find x. Right, bar chart. What's wrong with this bar chart? So that goes up to 74. It does start at 71, but that scale, you can't say there to there is worth 71 and the next one worth 1, so there's something wrong with the scale. So scale goes from 0 to 71 and then up by 1. So scale is wrong. Now, can you see, look at the width of these bars. Tom's is not equal width, and Tom's bar is not equal in width. I think those are the two. Now, if there's one more, that hasn't actually got labelled marks in it, has it? So that's another one, but that's enough to get you your 2 marks. Right, well, that's 180 minus 150, that's 30. Same reason for angles on straight line. Equals 180. Right, why is this diagram wrong? Angles around a point equal what? Equal 360. Right, now that right angle is 90. What's 280 plus 90 is 370, so that can't be correct. And you just need to write that information down. Right, m add m. Now remember, m times m times m times m equals m to the power of 4, but this is adding, so it's 4m. We divide the numbers, which is 3, and that's just 3p. Right, that's 3e minus e. Let's work that out first. That's 2e. Then plus the 4e to that, 6e. Simplify means write it in less terms. Right. Let's zoom out. 60 people are asked about this. This is your 60 here. 38 of the people are women and the rest are men. So we can fill out 38 here. That's 38. 15 of the men prefer to email their friends. So go to men, that must be 15. 60% of the people prefer to text their friends. So let's work out that stage. It is a calculator paper, so 60%. So of the people, I think that means do 60 shift percent times 60, 36, or you could just do 0.6 times 60. So we know 36 people prefer to text their friends. Now what can we do? Well, if that's 38, men must be 60 minus 38, so that's 22 to make the 60. Now we can fill in the rest. These has to equal 22, so 22 minus 15 is 7. Now we know 36 people like to text. We've got 7 texts here for the men, so that means we must get 29 texts for the women. And that has to equal 38, these two, so that must be 9. Break that down, fill in what you can. That should be a straightforward 5 out of 5 marks, and many of you did not get that. Okay, work out each stage. This bit is the thing to unlock 60% of the people. Once you work that out, so remember we did 60%, which is 0.6 times 60, or you can use 60% on the calculator and then times it by 60, and then it gives you your 36. That's key information to complete the graph, the frequency tree. Correct the nearest 1000, or that's the 1000 number. You can see the next number is not 5 or more, so it stays the same, 29,000. Work out how many times each student throws the dice. That's your frequency. There's 6 here, 4, 5, 8, 7 and 5. Right, so we have to add all that up first. Get your method mark, write that down. Use your calculator. 6, add 4, add 5, add 8, add 7, add 5. Press equals. Not worth it making an error here. That's 35. Key bit of information. 5 students throw a dice. They each throw the dice the same amount of times. So we get this 35. There's 5 students. 35 divided by 5 equals 7, but not worth making a silly mistake. Just double check, takes you no time. 7. Boom. 3 out of 3 marks. These are big marks to get, and not everyone got full marks on that question, I'm afraid. Write down a cube number and use your calculator. Cube numbers are like 1 cubed, 2 cubed, 3 cubed, 4 cubed. If you don't know, just try them out. I know the answer is 27, but let's try it. 3 cubed is 27. And just go through the cube numbers on your calculator until you get an answer that matches, but it is 27 in this. An easy 1 mark there. 15, I'm going to zoom into this. Paper 1 is 60 marks, paper 2 is 90 marks. Let's highlight that. The pass mark is 2/3 of the total number of marks. So let's work out the total. That's 90 plus 60. Use a calculator if you need to. That's 150 marks. So the pass mark, first let's do what's 2/3 of 150. So see how many marks we need to pass. 2/3, use that, times 150 equals 100. So you go 2/3 times 150 equals 100. So you need 100 marks to pass. Now let's read this next bit that we need to know. Danielle gets 70% of the marks for paper 1. Let's show this skill down so that we can earn some F marks. Let's change colour. So 70% is 0.7 times paper 1 is 60 marks. So you do times 60 equals, what does that equal? Or you can use the percentage button on a calculator and times 60. Same thing. So 0.7 times 60, 42. Like I showed you, could use the percentage button. Shift answer times 60, you still get 42. 42, earns a method mark. So she's got 42 on paper 1. She needs 100 marks to pass. So paper 2, how many of the marks must she get on paper 2? Well, that's just 100 minus the 42 she's already got. So that is 58, and that's the answer. That's a big 4 marks, a big 4 marks. 58. Not so hard if you just break down each stage. You should definitely get some method marks here, okay? Right, when we divide, that's like saying we're doing this. Just so you remember, if you're not sure about the rules, work it out. That means that. Cancel out c's. How many c's do you have left? 3. C cubed. But laws within the c's is you minus the powers. So that's this. Okay. This means the same thing multiplied by itself 3 times. Alright. Laws within the c's is you add the powers. That's d to the 12. Very easy. Find the highest common factor of 60 and 84. Right. How would I do this? And you've got to do the lowest common multiple. Right. 2 ways. What numbers go into 60? That's the factors is numbers that go into it. We're looking at the biggest one. So 60 is 1 and 60. 4 and 15, use your calculator, you don't know. 2 and 30. And what else? 6 and 10. Now 84, let's try it. 1 and 84. It's 2 and 42. Now let's see, look at these numbers. There's 4 going to 84. Yes, it's 21. Use your calculator if you're not sure. Because 4 times 21 is that. So it could be possibly be 4, but let's check. Let's try 6. So the 6 going to 84. This is non-calculator. 6 into 8 is 1, remainder 2. That's 4. So 6 and 14 are factors. So the answer is probably 6. But do double check with your calculator. You have time. Now, what have we missed out? 5 and 12. This is why you have to be careful. That makes 60. Does 12 going to 84? I believe it does. Because 7 times 12 equals 84. So it's 7 and 12. So you can see how you can make the mistake, and it is 12. Now, there's another way to do this, which is the Venn diagram method, and actually it's a calculator paper. So if you press 60 equals, and then there's a button, and it should be shift, and you can see this word fact, it gives you that as factors. So 2 squared times 3 times 5. 60 equals 2 squared times 3 times 5. That's that as a factor tree. Let's try that with 84. 84, press equals, shift, fact here. 2 squared times 3 times 7. 84 equals 2 squared times 3 times 7. Now, I showed you this a long time ago. If you're to do that as a Venn diagram, this is a professional method to do it for any two. So 60 and 84. So 60 has a 2 and a 2. Can you see that matches? So you write 2, 2 in here. Get rid of that, and get rid of that's done. There's a 3 and a 3. So that's done. The 7 goes in here and the 5 goes in here. So you can see the numbers in the middle is the highest common factor, which is 2 times 2 times 3, which is 12. That's the professional way to do it. And the final lowest common multiple of 24, okay, LCM, you need to remember, is the smallest number that goes into both. So if you count up in 40s, 40, 80, 120, 160, 200. Let's just stop there. Now, if it was the LCM of 24 and what was the number above? And 84. If you've got that LCM diagram, the LCM is actually all these numbers multiplied together. 5 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 7 equals 420. That's the LCM of those two. So you can see how if they made this 84, doing this at the start helps. These numbers look quite straightforward and it's a calculator paper, so you know, and you do make mistakes at these because you can make calculation errors. So you use 24 times 2 is 48, right? 24 times 3 is 72. Let's add 24 and keep on adding 24 and writing the numbers down, and you can see we get hit to 120 anyway. So 24 is 48, 72, 96, 120. That's the lowest common multiple. Answer's 120. Write that down. Gonna get your 2 out of 2 marks. You can see you can get 40 marks on this, right guys? And then close to getting a 4. But we need to get these skills mastered by Christmas so that you have a few months making sure you can get that extra 10 marks or 15 marks that you need to get a 4, and maybe 20 plus more to get a 5. But halfway there, do this in 3 papers, it is achievable. But these straightforward questions you need to ace. Hopefully this helps. I know I've rushed, I do these explanations quickly, but this is to help you stay focused because it's a lot of listening. So I would recommend question, attempt, watch, or watch then attempt, something like that. Alright,